Hey everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. Today we're going to talk about Jupiter in fourth house. We need to understand what is Jupiter. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the characteristics of Jupiter, the different aspects of Jupiter, and Jupiter itself. So let's talk about what is Jupiter. So Jupiter is an older planet. Jupiter is considered a teacher, a guru, a mentor. Okay, so Jupiter is connected with being dharmic because it owns house 9 and house 12 in the Kalpurush Kundali. So house 9 is your father, is your dharma, it's your spirituality, it's your foreign travel, your long distance travel. So Jupiter definitely rules all of that. The father, the foreign travel, or the long distance travel, the spirituality, the higher studies, PhD level studies, because it's a guru, it's a teacher, it's a mentor. So that's what Jupiter is. Jupiter is also all about ethics, integrity, meditation. Okay. Jupiter is a planet of expansion. Okay. It provides expansion for, in the sense, it provides you good benefits from your children. It gives you good children. If Jupiter is benefit for your horoscope, you'll have good children. You'll have good partners, whether in business or in life. You'll have good real estate, good property, good family, good mother, good father, good mentors, teachers. Okay, so Jupiter, as long as it's benefit for your horoscope, you should see all those things in your life. Okay, Jupiter is a very ethical planet. If you see Jupiter sitting on a house, most likely that house is going to be very ethical and very integrity oriented home, unless there's malefic influences on that house, such as Rahu either sitting with it or aspecting it, or Shani, Saturn, sitting with it or aspecting it, or Mars, etc. So those kind of influences then will tag on, or Ketu. So Jupiter is also a very righteous planet. Okay, it is considered more like a saint. So, and it's considered a lazy planet also. It does bestow lots and lots of prosperity. So if it's aspecting a certain house and that house is connected with wealth somehow, you can be sure you'll get wealth. Again, as long as there are no associations in that house. So let's talk about the aspects of the house. What aspects does Jupiter have? And then we'll go into the house that the Jupiter is sitting in. So the fifth aspect, Jupiter has 3 aspects. It has the 5th aspect from its house, from where it's sitting in, and then it has a 7th aspect from where it's sitting in, and then it has a 9th aspect from where it's sitting in. So we'll talk about the 5th aspect. 5th aspect of Jupiter is considered one of the best aspects. So if you think about 5th house in the Kalpurush Kundali, 5th house is considered the house of your past life good deeds. So when Jupiter is placing that 5th aspect on the 5th house from where it's sitting, it is giving you that blessing based on your past good deeds that you have done. So you care for that house like your child, and that house may also care for you like you are its child. So that's one of the best aspect to have, because that's an aspect that you get without doing anything, without lifting a finger. You get that because you're bringing it from your past life's good deed. The second aspect that you get is 7th aspect from where it's sitting. Now that aspect is basically a give and take. So if you give good in that relationship, you get good back. But you want that aspect to be really good. So Jupiter blessing it helps you. If you want that aspect to be good, then Jupiter is going to help you. For example, if you have that aspect on your 7th house, if you're going to give good to your kids, if you're going to be nice to them, if you're going to treat them well, they're going to treat you well. They may still treat you well regardless because of Jupiter's 7th aspect. But can you imagine if you treat them well, they're going to treat you so much better? So that's kind of like your seventh aspect. Now, if there's malefic influences, things will change. Now, ninth aspect, Jupiter has a third aspect, which is the ninth aspect from it, from where it's sitting. Now, that is your life's topmost goal, is kind of what you feel. But Jupiter is always blessing it. Okay. So that will seem like a struggle for you in your life, that it's struggle. This is something I can't get lifted up. So let's say, for example, if that aspect is on your seventh house, okay, you may feel like relationship with your spouse, or seventh house is also business feels like a struggle. But eventually Jupiter is going to bless you where that relationship can take off. It can become good for you, but it's going to require struggle from you. It's going to require a lot of effort from you. You have to really want to do it. And then Jupiter will help, will give its blessing. You can't just sit there and say, I'm not going to do anything with this aspect. Well, then Jupiter's not going to be able to, it can only give so much blessings to it, right? Now, again, if there's anything malefic in your horoscope, if Jupiter is a functional malefic, those things will take time. Jupiter is still a very benefic planet because that's its innate nature. It's going to be benefic to you. So those are the aspects. All right, let's talk about Jupiter in the fourth house. What is house four? House four is your mother. House four is your home, your homeland. House four is also your real estate, your properties. House four is your happiness. It's your peace of mind. It's your family environment. So house two is your family that you are born to. House four is a family that you create. So it could be your spouse, your children, all together, like a family environment. So now let's talk about what happens when Jupiter sits in house four. So, Jupiter, when it sits in a house, it takes away something from that house. So perhaps that something for you could be the relationship with your mother. Perhaps, now again, if Jupiter is very benefic for your horoscope, then these things would be less, and you will get the benefic aspects more. However, if Jupiter is a neutral for you, or perhaps it's a functional malefic for you, now you'll see more negative effects than positive for the fourth house. So positive would be you would have a great relationship with your mom. Your mom would be very spiritual. She'll be very ethical, full of integrity. She may be your first teacher. She may be a teacher. Those are the good effects if you have if you have Jupiter being benefic in your horoscope. You will also have great real estate. You'll have great luck with real estate. You may teach in real estate. Real estate could be your profession. Your profession could be something connected to your mother. What your mother was doing could be something that you might do. Your family environment could be great. So these are all the benefit things. Now, if, like I said, Jupiter is neutral or is not providing its benefits to you, or if it's malefic in your horoscope, now you're going to have more on the opposite effects. You may have a more demanding relationship with your mother. Your mother may try to be more guru, more teacher to you. You may try to be more teacher to your mother. You may have your real estate may suffer. You may not be able to build as many real estate properties as you wanted to. Your home environment may have issues. You may not be happy the way things are at your home. So those are the kind of things you can see if Jupiter is either neutral or functionally malefic for you. And we can check that when we look at your horoscope in terms of what it is. And then we can tell you based on your horoscope on what to do to fix it. So that's Jupiter. Now let's talk about the aspects of Jupiter. As I mentioned, the three aspects, the first aspect is going to be the fifth, and that's on your house 8. So what is house 8? House 8 is your spouse's family. So your in-laws. House 8 is your research. Okay, this is where you do more and more research on everything. You try to get to the depth of everything that you study. Okay, it is also a house of secrets. This is where you go in and you try to get the secret out of anything that you wanted to. You can get the secrets out. It is also, if house 2 is where you take food in, house 8 is where you get food out. So it's also that house as well of your organs. So those are the things that you see from house 8. You also see sudden loss and sudden gain from house 8. You also see inheritance from house 8. So when Jupiter is aspecting it with his 5th house, you usually would have a really good relationship with your in-laws. Your in-laws treat you like their children, and you treat them. By treat, I mean love. You love them like you love your children. You really don't make differentiation. You genuinely love them like your children, and and they love you like their children as well. They truly care for you. Again, if it's neutral or malefic, these results would vary. But if your Jupiter is benefic in your horoscope, that is going to be guaranteed. You're going to feel that. Again, no malefic associations, right? If you have any malefic associations or any malefic aspects, say you have Saturn sitting there in that house, also in house 8, say you have Mars sitting there in addition to Jupiter, now results would be different. But if you have Jupiter sitting in house 4 with no malefic associations, none of that, simply what you see in the chart with other planets, other places, and that's kind of what you would see. That's for house 8. Let's talk about, you could get inheritance because it's a house of inheritance. You could get sudden gains because Jupiter's aspecting that house. Now let's talk about the 7th aspect. It is on the house of work. Again, what I say is you get what you give. So house 10, what is house 10? It is the house of your karma. It is the house of your way of work, what you put into your work, the style of your work, what you do. So if you put effort into your work, you're gonna get blessed many folds. That's what Jupiter does. So, and also house 10 is owned by Saturn in the Kalpurush Kundali, which means hard work. Everybody's house 10 is going to be a hard work house. So the more hard work you put into the type of work that you do, especially if it's ethical, full of integrity, honest work, Jupiter is going to bless you. So that's your house 7. But you will have some struggle with the work, what you want to do, what type of work you want to do, ethical, unethical, all that stuff. You'll have some struggle, but Jupiter will bless you once everything that you put into it is hard work and ethics. Let's talk about the last aspect of Jupiter, which is on house number 12. What is house 12? House 12 is a house of losses. It's the house of expenditure. It's the house of foreign settlement or settlement away from your home. It is a house of isolation. It's a house of detachment, meditation, spirituality, meditation. That's where house 12 is. Okay. So when Jupiter is blessing house 12 with its 9th aspect, you can feel that you may have some struggle in wanting to do the activities of house 12, but you want to do them. So perhaps you have wanted to meditate and you're just not being able to meditate. Now, if you sit down and if you put all your effort into doing it, Jupiter will bless you and you will do it. This is a great placement for somebody working in a hospital because house 12 is also hospital and jail. So a great jailer, great doctor, surgeon, because they're there dealing with people when they're isolated, when people are isolated. You know, it's a great placement for that. So do write in the comments, please, if you see any of this happening in your life, if you have Jupiter in the 4th house and you see the things that we just talked about happening in your life. And we provide consultations to you on your horoscope. So do reach out to us, fill out the form. We'll get back to you. And don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any updates. And hit the like button and thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.